Recently, I've been getting really sick of my old setup. It looks dirty, not very stylish, and working from this environment is an absolute hell because I'm pretty much maneuvering between cables and devices that are meant to enhance my experience, not hinder it. Yes, all of the content that you've seen on this channel has been made on this device. All of it. All the way down to the first video uploaded, which was just a shitty shitpost video about how bad the voice acting in Far Cry is. As you can imagine, this setup wasn't the most ideal, especially when it'll eventually be filled up with cups, glasses, and dishes that were left from the previous day or from a friend's visit. And because I started to lose focus between the wires of the very root of my creative canvas, I decided to put my foot down. Not only was my setup annoying me, the laptop I was using is 3 years old at this point, which isn't even all that long if you take a step back and look at it, but I'm sure it was never meant to be a daily driver. Being on pretty much all day as I worked on videos, did school projects, made maps, or even when I had to take a step back to go and do groceries, had to go to family, or sometimes even when I'd sleep. It was simply not built to do this, and it really shows. The device creaks and groans under the weight of my workload. As I produce more videos, my demands get heavier. The poor thing. And because things are taking off, and if I wanted to keep up with that, I had to really do something about my situation. And I did. I spent a few weeks thinking about what the ultimate rig would be for me. Should I go for something lightweight and upgrade later? Or should I go ahead and buy the best hardware my wallet can afford so that I only have to upgrade in a few years? It was a hard choice, but one that didn't require me to study for 2 months, so my brain survived it. Once I got the parts figured out, I ordered them. All on Amazon with the Amazon Prime free trial because I'm super cheap. I placed my order on Sunday and all the parts were delivered by Friday. Except my processor. I wasn't home to receive it on Friday. Yeah, I'm an idiot. So on Saturday, while waiting on the processor to arrive, me and my good friend Joerie, who built servers, got to work on assembling this machine. Completely determined, and totally not scared to break anything. We completely got rid of my old setup and used the desk as a workbench. We inserted the I/O plate in the back of the case, put the RAM in the motherboard, and rerouted the cables in the case for the best cable management we could get. Then, we unboxed the power supply and put it in the bottom of the case, routing those cables to the front of the case as well. Joerie told me that we had to put the cables in first before we screwed the power supply in place, or else we would make it incredibly difficult for ourselves later on. When that was done, the hard drives had to be installed, neatly in the back of the machine where nobody could see them. They were quite easy to install. When that was installed, the processor was finally delivered by the smelly Amazon guy, and we could put the rig's brain into place. Then we put on the cooler and we were finally ready to put the motherboard inside the case.
It's the founder of this company that made this fan, a Cooler Master.
We installed all the cables in what seemed to us like the right holes, we put the video card in place, and we were pretty much ready to see if it posts. Test number 1. Let's press the button.
Press the power button.
Do it.
1, 2.
Oh yeah. Are we posting? Please tell me we're posting. Maybe we should plug in a display cable. Are we posting now? No, we're not.
We're not posting.
Something seemed off. Well, it's the PC. The PC was off. It didn't post. So, what happened? Well, after some searching and furious nail-biting, we found what the problem was. We installed the power button alongside the other case functions on the wrong pins. So we quickly readjusted that, and after that, it posted like a charm. I was getting really excited. We had some more issues with the video card involving the connection, but eventually everything worked. Magic. We cleaned up, smacked windows on it, and ate pizza. The ramifications of which I still felt tonight as I'm writing the script. Man, I hate pizza boxes. So, let me give you the tour. This is Odin, my brand new self-built PC, and it's ready for action, sporting the colors of the channel, purple, because purple is awesome and highly underrated. It has an Intel Core i7-9700K, currently clocked at about 3.6 GHz, an upgrade over my laptop which had an Intel Core i7-6700HQ. Quite a generation skip, I know. For my video card, I settled on an RTX 2070 with 8GB of video memory. Quite the upgrade over my laptop again. That one had a GTX 960M. Not too great, but it served me well up until now. I chose the RTX 2070 because I wanted to be somewhat future-proof, and I wanted to be able to play most games that I have at over 60 frames per second. For the rest, I have 16GB of RAM, which I'm planning to expand to 32GB soon. I have one 500GB SSD and one 2TB HDD to serve my file storing needs. And that's really it, to be honest. Now let's go to the meat of this video. How do the games run? I tested out a few games, and most of the ones that I run like a charm. First, I tested out Doom 2016, which at the absolute maxed out settings managed to run above 100 frames per second pretty much all the time. Amazing. Then I tested out some CSGO, which ran on the highest settings also above 100 frames per second at all times. This machine is nailing it so far. This one sounds strange, but besides testing GTA 5, which ran at most things maxed out at over 60 frames per second, I also tested out GTA 4. I was never able to run that game on the highest settings, so I was hoping that after about 10 years of playing this game, I'd finally be able to. And yes, I was. I wept for a solid 20 minutes in the corner of my room. I mean, I could go over all the games that I tried, but the truth is, they all ran great. Except Fallout 76, that's a special game. If you guys want me to go into more detail about the performance, just yell tomato sauce in the comment section. I would know what you mean, but an outsider will be very, very confused. Now, I tested this machine out mainly with games, but it's supposed to do heavy-duty content creation as well, so how does it do on that front? Well, in Premiere, certain graphics are just a tad too heavy to run at its full frame rate, but it's leagues better than on my laptop. But still not entirely there. The rest of the program runs like a charm though. I did not know I wanted this. Telling you if I'm happy with the performance of my production software is like telling you how my boots fit after trying them on once. I can only really tell you if I like them if I worn them for a while, when they have gotten used to the shape of my feet and my needs. For production software, I have to have made a few videos to really tell you if it's much better, so I'll get back to you on that. What I do know for sure is that I like my new setup a whole lot more. It's cleaner and people now actually take me seriously, not to mention the giant 27-inch screen that I bought. It's much bigger than my previous screen, damn. I will admit, this new setup takes some getting used to. But I'm sure that with time, I'm going to be completely settled in. Like a cat in a fresh box. And then I'll find something new to complain about.